In the mid-1800s, our country faced much suffering. Slavery was still very prominent in the South. The Industrial Revolution was also going on. This led to an increase in unsafe factory jobs. There was an argument over if working in factories was worse than being a slave. Both sides had valid points, and we will discuss them. Many argued that it was worse to be a factory worker. The machines were dangerous to operate. A surgeon named Michael Ward said the number of children who had received injuries from the machinery amounted to one-half. Many slave owners claimed it was pleasant to be a slave. George Fitza says the Negro slaves of the South are the finest people in the world, freest people in the world. He says that factory workers work longer hours than slaves, and are burdened with taking care of a family. Living conditions of the factory workers were horrible, according to William John Grayson. He writes, his clothing rags of filthy straw his bed. It may sound bad to be a factory worker, but Griffin is now going to talk about the horrors of slavery.
The Industrial Revolution and slavery were both bad, but according to source 3, slavery was worse in the way that if you were a slave, then there was no way to get out of slavery. You could not quit. Since you had owners, you were considered a piece of property. Like in source 6, the grandma was treated like property in the sense that she was controlled by one person and treated like she was not human. The Industrial Revolution was bad. Slavery was bad because people were treated really bad. And the Industrial Revolution was bad because it was not safe for anyone. But we think slavery was worse because people were property and not treated like inhuman. Slaves were also not promised food, unlike people in factories had food.